The Senate fails to prevent a government shutdown, while Democrats are furious over Sombrero-Gate. And Secretary of War Pete Hegseth delivers a major address to U.S. military brass at Quantico. I'm Tony Kinnett, host of the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Yesterday evening, Senate Democrats voted in almost unison to defeat a House bill to fund the government through November 21st, putting Washington through a shutdown that began at midnight last night.
The nays are 45. The 60-vote threshold having not been achieved, the bill upon reconsideration is not passed.
Democrat Senators John Fetterman of Pennsylvania and Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada were the only two Democrats to vote in favor of the Republican-drafted measure, and independent, though he often caucuses with the Democrats, Angus King of Maine also voted for the Republican measure. Though two Democrats and an independent ended up voting in favor of the measure, that still kept the bill shy of the 60 votes that were needed to pass the continuing resolution. Rob Bluey joined us from Capitol Hill to tell us a little bit more about what we can expect in this particular shutdown, how long it's going to last, and what it's going to take to get us out of it.
Of course, earlier this year, Trump and Republicans did a masterful job of branding it the Schumer shutdown. And you've started to see Republicans revamp some of that language to put the blame squarely on the shoulders of Chuck Schumer for his unwillingness to bring along those handful of Democrats. I think there were 9 Democrats in March who ended up voting for the bill. So I do think that if Russ voted, and you picked up precisely on the pressure point that I think Democrats are going to feel, if he starts to take action where he presses forward with these reduction in force agreements, the Democrats will start to squirm, because the unions and others who protect those workers are certainly not going to want to see people on the receiving end of a pink slip.
We know that Schumer can kind of play, hardball in a way, although he does have AOC breathing down his back. There are some swing state senators, though, the ones that aren't retiring, that are a little bit more nervous, that are looking at the potential of a longer government shutdown as possibly being a real negative to their campaigns in the upcoming midterms, which, by the way, totally pops the narrative that this is going to hurt Republicans in the midterm elections. What rumors are you hearing hillside on maybe the, let's say, slightly more purpley Democrats, senators, although few they may be, squirming?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, historically, the party that's not in power tends to do better in midterm elections. And in this particular case, you would think that Democrats might have an upper hand. However, the polls don't really bear that out.
That's exactly what I'm typing into the computer right now.
Yeah, exactly. and so Republicans, you could look at a number of polls. You could look at generic ballot. You could look at the issue polls. I mean, voters tend to trust Republicans on the issues that matter most to the American people. And so I don't think that the Democrats are necessarily going to benefit from some of those headwinds that they've had in the past. The other thing that the Democrats are banking on here is they're advocating for these COVID-era healthcare subsidies. Now, just a couple things on this, and I expect that those same senators that you're talking about are going to be the ones that are championing this the most, because they see this as an issue where they think they have an advantage over Donald Trump. However, the COVID emergency ended over 2 years ago, and it was done by Joe Biden. By the way, Joe Biden was also the one who oversaw the passage of these extended subsidies, which we are rife with waste, fraud, and abuse, as we know from the analysis that has been done by esteemed healthcare scholars. And the final point is the Democrats were the ones that put the expiration date in at the end of 2025. So the Democrats obviously thought they should expire. COVID's no longer a national emergency. Joe Biden ended it. And for any Democrats who are going to make this really the issue that they try to champion, I think Republicans will easily swat it down and point to all of the bloated government spending that happens in Washington, D.C. as a reason why we need to have a serious conversation about the debt and deficit in this country.
Meanwhile, all of the ire from House and Senate Democrats appear to be focused on Sombrero-Gate. President Trump 2 days ago posted a video of Hakeem Jeffries and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer in front of the press after they had come out of the White House meeting to hopefully avoid the shutdown. Chuck Schumer's voice was manipulated through AI to talk about how unpopular Democrats have become with the American people. And Hakeem Jeffries was sporting a PNG, that being a transparent image, of a sombrero and a handlebar mustache as mariachi music played in the background.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
Hakeem Jeffries' first response was exceptionally angry.
Mr. President, the next time you have something to say about me, don't cop out through a racist and fake AI video. When I'm back in the Oval Office, say it to my face.
This followed by a similarly angry response from Representative Teresa Fernandez and her choice pronunciation of the word sombrero.
That's right. And then what does that shameful man do? After a meeting where you're supposed to be working out details, where you're supposed to be negotiating a deal, you post something that draws a sombrero and a mustache on the leader with whom you're supposed to be.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer took part of his time on the floor of the Senate last night to complain about the video.
Yesterday, the president posted an offensive deepfake AI video of Leader Jeffries and me, with sombreros, fake music, impersonating my voice through AI, it wasn't me, talking even more lies about health care and immigration. Listen to this, America. Hours away from a shutdown, which we don't want, the American people don't want, the president is busy trolling away on the internet like a 10-year-old. And that's exactly why Americans are going to blame him if the government shuts down.
And then, just in case you thought you had seen the last of this particular scandal, Hakeem Jeffries then took the stage again in front of the media after the final bill had failed and the incoming government shutdown was on a lot of people's minds to call the video racist once more before the evening was out.
It was a fake video. It was a disgusting video. It was a racist video. It was unbecoming of anyone purporting to be the President of the United States of America.
And lastly, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth delivered a major address to U.S. military brass at Quantico in Virginia yesterday.
Today is about people, and it's about culture. The topic today is about the nature of ourselves. Because no plan, no program, no reform, no formation will ultimately succeed unless we have the right people and the right culture at the War Department. If I've learned one core lesson in my 8 months in this job, it's that personnel is policy. Personnel is policy. The best way to take care of troops is to give them good leaders committed to the warfighting culture of the department. Not perfect leaders, good leaders. Competent, qualified, professional, agile, aggressive, innovative, risk-taking, apolitical, faithful to their oath and to the Constitution. Eugene Sledge, in his World War II memoir, wrote, quote, "War is brutish, inglorious, and a terrible waste. Combat leaves an indelible mark on those who are forced to endure it. The only redeeming factors are my comrades' incredible bravery and their devotion to each other." In combat, there are thousands of variables, as I learned in Iraq and Afghanistan, and as so many of you did in so many more places. Leaders can only control about 3 of them. You control how well you're trained, mostly how well you're equipped, and the last variable is how well you lead. After that, you're on your own. Our warfighters are entitled to be led by the best and most capable leaders. That is who we need you all to be. Even then, in combat, even if you do everything right, you may still lose people because the enemy always gets a vote. We have a sacred duty to ensure that our warriors are led by the most capable and qualified combat leaders. This is one thing you and I can control. And we owe it to the force to deliver it.
Before you go, head down to the description and make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast. And join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for a roundup of the day's news and nonsense. Government shutdown or no, we'll be here. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Take care.